Hey there. So some of you may have decided to purchase some of these furniture sliders for some workouts. And you can use these. You can buy the actual exercise version of these things. They cost a little more, but you can get these guys, I think, at Walmart for maybe 10 bucks, a couple pairs of them. And if you don't want to use these, you can use sometimes paper plates on a carpet would work. And yeah, you can just kind of figure it out. But here's some great things that you can try with these guys. So one of my favorites is to use these for a back lunge. So it's a sliding back lunge. So I come into my lunge. Now I'm really driving through this front heel. So I want to make sure that I'm keeping all of the same form that I would use for a regular back lunge, driving through this heel. Now, if you're using this particular video as your workout, of course, make sure you've already done your dynamic warm-up. Maybe you've done some rolling with a foam roller or a yoga tune-up ball. So back sliding. And I'll do about 45 seconds of those, and then I will do the other side. So join me for the back slide. Driving through my front heel, that's really important. So this adds an element of instability, of course, because this guy's slippery. So I have to do a lot more stabilization. Now be careful. You could end up going too far and ending up in the splits, and that would probably not be good. Okay, so that's our back slide. So you can do these to the side as well. And what I want to point out is that you probably already noticed that the majority of the weight is on the foot that is not sliding. So now as I go to my side, it's the same thing. So my right leg is sliding out, but the majority of my weight is on my left leg. So it's kind of like doing a single-legged squat. So a lot of stability work happening here. So it's challenging even if I don't add any weight. So I'm going to go through these again and add a little weight next time. Okay, and we'll do the other side. So side slide. Knees and toes point the same direction, so I'm being very conscious of where my knees are pointing as I'm sliding. Sometimes holding on to something might be helpful. So if I had a wall or something, or a countertop or a chair, or at the gym, I use a stick. So listen to your body. If it feels like you're going to get out of control, then support yourself. Not a problem. Okay. So the other option is to actually take this to the front. So I slide forward and back. So it's again almost like a single-legged squat. I have a little bit of weight on this sliding foot. The majority of it is on my left foot that's stable. I'm out in the garage. It's pretty chilly today, so I still have my jacket on, but I'm probably going to end up taking it off here in a moment. I've already done my dynamic warm-up, so I'm warm, but not quite warm enough to take my jacket off yet. Okay, and we'll switch sides. Out. So I'm sitting way back into the heel of the foot that's not sliding. Who would have thought such a simple little thing could create this challenging exercise? Okay, and you rest. So one last option you have is to actually do kind of like a curtsy lunge like this. So knees and toes and hips are still pointed forward, even though I'm going back and across. Back and across. If any of these don't feel okay in your knees, then of course don't do it. These are excellent exercises to keep your knees strong. However, if you already have something going on with your knees, go ahead and rest. It might be too much. So check it out, see how it goes. So again, I'm doing like a curtsy, or some people call it a bowler's lunge. Good work. These are not easy. Anytime you add that element of instability, you have a much more challenging environment for these exercises. And rest. All right, so I'm going to let my lower body rest a little bit now. That was a lot of work for the legs. And I'm going to go ahead and do some work for my upper body. So now these can be used on your hands too. So you can come onto your knees or come onto your toes and do a variety of things. So I'm going to go ahead and come onto my toes here. And then I'm going to do almost like a one-sided push-up. So one arm goes out, and then I slide it in. And then the other one goes out. So one arm is kind of like doing a fly, and then the other one is doing kind of like a push-up. These are actually really hard. So I'm going to come on my knees so I can do a few more. So one arm is doing almost like a fly, and the other one's doing kind of like a push-up. You could do both at the same time. And like I said, these are hard, so I'm doing them on my knees, and they're still hard. All right, so rest. So give those a try. You don't have to go super deep to have them be effective. Now the next one I'm going to show you is a hamstring curl with my heels on the slides. So it's similar to what you would do with a ball. So the hips are lifted, and then we roll out and in, or we slide out and in actually. So hips are lifted and we pull in and out. Now check in with your body. If you need, you could do one at a time, or do several on one side, and then several on the other side. These are excellent for the knees again, but check in if it feels like it's causing irritation, then they might not be for you. These are actually harder than the ball. Okay, and that was working the backs of my legs. All right, so I'm going to put these guys on my feet now and move into, I'll take this off so you can see what I'm doing with my body a little bit better. So this is coming into a plank. And I'm going to be doing what we call the saw. So forwards and backwards. So the body stays in one straight line. That's important. And then the hard part is going past the neutral point. Once I get to this neutral point and go forward, I'm not going to say it's easy, but it's easier. You could also do some out and in with the feet. This is all core, and of course you'll feel your inner thighs too on this one. All in the core for that. And then what I'll show you next is core and legs. So a sliding mountain climber. These can be done on the hands in a push-up position, or you can come to an elevated surface like the step that I have behind me, or a chair or something else if that works better for you. So on my hands, if that works for me, core is tight, and then I'm doing sliding mountain climbers. Now the legs can pass each other just like I'm doing here now, or I could do one and then the other. I could even just do one side at a time, and if it's too much to have both feet on the slide, I just take one off, and then halfway through my set, I would switch sides. All of this works the core and the legs. Regardless of which way you do it, you're going to feel it. Now you could also come across the body. This gets the obliques a little bit more. And you could also come outside of your body. All of these are so good. Okay, and rest. So join me for one more round of those if you'd like. I'm going to shorten up the time for each set, only because I'm going to add some weight this time on the leg work for sure, and we'll see with the others what I decide to do. So I'm going to hold on to some weight in my hands for all of these sliding ones with the legs. Make sure you guys can see me. So we're just going to do 30 seconds this time instead of 45 because I'm holding on to weight this time. All right, here we go. So back. Now, ways I can make this more challenging, of course, just by adding the weight, I'm making it harder. The other way I could do it is double pulse, or just do a short range of motion. Ooh, in that back part. That's hard. Again, double pulse is an option. Okay, rest. And then we'll do the other side. I'll turn around so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, here we go. Back. And again, with weight, I could do a bicep curl. Always an option. Or I could double pulse it. And do a curl maybe. Or if I just pulse it out back here, oh my gosh, those are really hard. Okay, rest. So the next one is that side slide.
So I'm gonna hold the weights and they'll straddle the leg that's not moving. So we go like this. Knees and toes forward. Weight back in my heels. Sure, I could add a bicep curl. I could double pulse. I could just pulse it out here, and that's really hard. Or I could just do my regular set with weight. Okay, second side. So knees and toes point to the front. Perhaps a bicep curl. Now, if I only had one dumbbell or one kettlebell, I would just hold it here perhaps, or maybe to the outside. Double pulse is an option. Or just hold it out there and pulse it out. Again, it could be here and rest. Okay, so the next one we have is our, I think it was the curtsy lunge was the next one. All right, no, it was the front one. All right, so we slide to the front, slide to the front. And same thing here, double pulse. Double pulse, that makes it harder. Just stay down and pulse it out. That's really hard. Add a bicep curl, perhaps. Or just do the set with the weight. It's plenty hard. Let's switch sides. Okay, let's get ready and begin. My rear end sticks way out. And again, I could add a curl. I could double pulse. I could stay out there and pulse it out and whoo, feel the burn. And rest. And then we had that curtsy. So again, I'm just holding onto the weight, maybe one in each hand, or I'll demonstrate how you can do it with a single one at the chest. So curtsy and curtsy. Knees and toes point forward. Always a choice of a bicep curl. Here's what it would look like with a single weight at the chest, kettlebell or dumbbell, or even a medicine ball. Yes, of course I can double pulse these, or stay down and just pulse it out. And rest. And those burn for sure. Okay, second side. Knees and toes point forward. Weight in my heel of my front leg for sure. Double pulse. Bicep curl. Or just stay back and pulse it out. And feel the burn, rest. Okay. So again, on our backs, if we wanted, we could add a little bit of weight to this. I'm just gonna grab this ball. It's hard enough without any added weight, but if you wanna add some, you can. Here we go. And I'm just weighing down my hip area. Woo. And again, sometimes alternating is what makes the most sense. I keep my hip bones square though. So keep hips lifted and hip bones square to the ceiling. Feeling those. Yep, rest. Awesome. Okay. So there's really no way to make these ones harder except to do them on your toes. So that is the option for these guys. Let's see how I want to set this up. I want to make sure you guys can see me. Yeah. There we go. And I'm going to give myself a little knee cushion for when I need or want to come down. So again, on the toes is an option. Okay, and then for these, you can go both out at the same time. We move this guy out of the way, so I don't bonk my head. Both out, and woo, squeeze it in. Core, woo, shoulders. I'm shaking. Option to do the one side, and then perhaps the other side. And again, for me, whew, on the knees is really going to let me get more of those reps. Squeezing in, and then again, option to do one side at a time. That ends up being kind of like a one-arm push-up and then a fly with the other arm. Okay, that's enough of those. And then we come back to those sliding mountain climbers, sliding saw. So the saw, again, on the forearms. And again, you can come up into an elevated surface. It'll be a little easier. So we're going back and forth and keeping the body in one straight line. I could do some in and out with the feet like this. Okay, so if my back started to feel it, I would rest and I would start again when I can. Please don't hold through any kind of pain in your back. Okay, so then we have all those variations of mountain climbers. Your toes will be in the middle of your slides. And then your basic mountain climber goes like this, of course. I could slow it down. I could go across the body. I could go to the outside of my hands. I could kick one away and just do one side. And I could go straight. I could do across. I could go to the outside of my hand. And I could do that with both feet on the slides or just one. Sometimes just one allows you to stay longer. And again, outside of the hand, across the body. Just because you have one stable foot, there's a little less that has to happen in the core. Eventually, you'll probably need to have both feet on the slides to feel what you want to feel. All right, so that's what I have for you today for your slides. Hope that was fun for you. Hope you guys are having a great day, and I hope to see you guys really soon. Take care.